Hey everyone, welcome to another video from Woodland Allure. I'm Nick DiFrancesco, aka Blackwater Bushcraft. This is one of the only times you'll see me indoors, but today we're building a bow. I purchased this DIY bamboo horse bow kit from Dave Mead from Mead Longbows. I was just surfing Instagram looking at different bows and his page popped up. He has the most unique product I've ever seen in the bow world. It's a bamboo horse bow that comes in a takedown option. He sells it as a U-build is what I purchased so I could build it myself. That being said, he has put it together and shot it many times to make sure you're getting a good product. It's primitive technology and modern performance. This bow can outperform most bows on the market right now, and it demands the respect of even a $3,000 horn bow, which is amazing because he's honestly pricing his bows, and I think you can tell he's like, by talking to him, he's so passionate about it. He would rather sell more of his bows and have his bows being used than make a profit off of selling a few a year. I think that's going to work for him because, I mean, the price can't be beat considering the product you're getting. You can tell the quality of work before you even open the package. He builds these boxes to ship his bows to make sure that they're safe while traveling. They're triangular, that way nothing can be stacked on top of it in the truck. It's solid wood, he's dropped weights on it and they hold up, so you know that bows can be really sketchy in the shipping process to order a bow because the limbs, if they're so sensitive, they could break if anything's dropped on them, or so you know it's gonna arrive safe. And so I ordered also a few of his arrows, and I believe this is bamboo arrow, and they're perfect, they're flawless, they just look great and they're straight. I'll show you a close-up right now. I can't say anything bad about these arrows, they're perfect and they're gonna work well with the horse bow. Also in the kit comes the two Sias, and because this is a U-build bow, there's still tool marks in them, so you have to sand them down and get them to a point where you're happy with them. Also comes with, I believe it's maple as well, handle, and everything is marked A, B, so that way when you're building, all the A pieces go together, all the B pieces go together. This will need a little bit of sanding too, but it's going to be wrapped multiple times anyways, so I don't even know if I might do a little bit of sanding here, but it's not necessary. And as well, these beautiful bamboo limbs, also marked A and B. These look perfect. I'm no master with bamboo, to be honest. This is my first time even working with bamboo, so I'm just gonna go with it. And just looking at his videos online, these bows fly 200 feet per second. It's such a compact package. I mean, look how small this is. I opted for the 50-pound version, which is his highest version. It's 50 pound at 31 inches. I have a long draw, so, and I plan on hunting with this bow as well, so I figured I'd go for the 50 pound. I'm going to make this a solid bow, not the takedown, because I plan on purchasing another one. I haven't even built this one yet, but I plan on purchasing another one, probably in the 45-pound range, that I'm going to use as a takedown bow. And what happens is this side is sealed, this side is wrapped, and you tighten it, and when you want, it has a leather hinge, so when you're done, it just folds right down into here, and you stuff it into your pack. And then and you have a compact 45-pound hunting bow. So now I'm going to sand up the Sias and the handle, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. Well, I'm excited to get this bow going because I completely missed the whole step of showing you guys that it also comes with the bow adhesive wrap, all-weather climate composite bow protection. It's kind of like a fiberglass. He even provides the gloves, the glue. This is way more glue than you'll need for this bow, which is nice to have extra, the bowstring. And I paid a little extra, a few bucks more, and got the jute twine wrap and the wrap for the Sias. But Dave is such a good guy. He even came with a note. Nick, thanks again for reaching out to me. Enjoy the process and the bow, my friend. Any help, don't hesitate to ask. Dave. It just shows that, you know, I had a few questions asking him about the bows and everything, and he was so helpful the whole way through. And what more could you ask for? He's such a good guy. All right, back to the build. Alright, now that I got the Sias sanded up to 220 grit, they're nice and smooth and got all the tool marks out. Do a dry run just to see how it lines up first before I start gluing things permanently together. It's always a good idea to just do a dry run first. So here I have the B limb and the B Sia. I just want to line it up just to see how straight it's going to be. So now what I need is the glue sticks that's provided and a form of heat. So I'm going to heat up the limb. The heat will help open the pores and accept the glue. I'm going to heat up the end of the Sia, and then now the glue. Now you just want to heat it up so that it starts to drip off. That way you could roll it onto the wood. So then you just roll it on. Roll it on. And you're going to heat up the glue again, just so that way it's melted, so that way it binds together. So now I'm going to heat up the Sia. Heat up the limb. Now you want to line it up. Now it's good to use 2 hands of pressure. Now I'm going to spend some time lining it up perfectly. I'm way off. There we go. Also, you want to create a protective layer around the sides. There, that seems about straight. Keeping the pressure on. Looks nice and straight. On to the next one. Alright, so now I'm going to attach the handle to the limb. So I have limbs A and A. So I'm going to first heat up the wood, then heat up the glue. Okay, so that's heated up. Now you're supposed to roll it on into a V shape. Nice amount of glue. You want a V shape that you're rolling it into. Together, A to A, Even has lines so you can line it up perfectly. On the video, he's holding it like this, 2 fingers, line them up. Everything looks pretty good. Again, I'll heat up the excess glue afterwards and wipe on a nice protective outer layer. This bow is coming together. It's starting to look like a bow. So there you have it. That's the hardest part, I guess, and just making sure everything's lined up and secured. Now the glue has to set for an hour just to make sure everything is good and legit before you move on to the next steps. If that was the hard part, this is going to be really easy because it came together really nicely. There's markings everywhere to line it up. So now I'm going to use the bow adhesive wrap. Once it's opened, you have less than 5 minutes to use it before it hardens, and you soak it in room temperature water for 5 seconds. It also comes with the protective gloves to wear. And so I gotta do this quick once I open it. Alright, well here goes nothing. One, two, three, 5. I'm gonna wrap it around one full time so you cover the tag end. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you start wrapping. You do each seam 3 times. I think you said wrap 3 times. So that way you're covering the whole bit of it. One done. I feel such a sense of urgency that I only have 5 minutes to get this, but I'm sure you can take your time with it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I want to start on the handle. I think you start about 1/4 inch up and seal the end. And then you just want to wrap your way across. Since I have some left, I'm going to go over it one more time. There we go. Okay. That's done. Now you want to spin it in your hand the direction you pulled it. That way everything's nice and tight on there. If there's any rough spots when you're done, you can sand it. Sand it down, but it's going to be covered anyways by the binding material. I could already start to feel it harden. And by all rights, by doing this bow is done, but obviously you want to put the finishing touches on it. Alright, so I'll start with the handle first. Make sure it's nice and even, straight. I'm gonna lay this string flat here. Start wrapping it in, and I'll explain why in a second. You got your loop. You feed it through. Feed it through the loop. Keep your tension on the loop until you pull it through. And it'll pull the twine through. And there it is, locked in there. And then once I put the finish on, it'll secure everything in place. I'm just gonna space out the handle here. And next I'll show you how to do the seals. Just lock it in place by wrapping it. And essentially you're just gonna cover the glue joint. I've got it basically down to the end here. I wrapped it a couple times on the top. And I'm just gonna cut it down short and then glue it down with the glue that's provided in the kit. And then again, once you seal it, it all becomes one anyways. Now I got both the Sias and the handle wrap. I'm just gonna finish it with polyurethane, a few coats, and then probably beeswax on top once that's done. I am eventually gonna redo the handle, I think. For now, I just want to get on the forest tomorrow and go and shoot this thing, so this will do for now. I have a polyurethane finish on this bow, and I just did a quick one time because I knew I was heading out today. But after being out here for a bit now, I know that obviously I got to put 3 more layers on, but I have to retighten this jute twine because it's coming loose. And I'm sure if I did the 3 coats it would be solid on there, but you know, trial and error. So now I'll show you how to string it up. There is a string provided with the kit, and I like to lay it out first so I know where the knocking point's going to be. So right away I know I want to do it on this side. What I do is put it in and make sure it's not twisted at all. And I'll stand up and teach you how to put it together. So what you do is you have your string in your bow, and you tuck it against your shin. You put 1 foot over. That way the middle of the handle is at the back of your thigh. And you want your shin to be touching right where the joint is. And then you want to grab in the same area on this side. Let me get that set up. Nice and straight. And you just push evenly until she's on there. And then you want to make sure it's nice and straight, and carefully step out of the bow. And it looks straight. Now you can see this side is bending a bit more than this side. When I first strung it up, this side was not barely bending at all because you have to work the limb. It is bamboo, so all you really do is just put it on your knee and grab by the joint again and grab by the handle and just gently bend it out. You don't want to pull too hard, just want to get it so that it's more evenly bent. And at this point you're ready to shoot and have a great day in the woods. It looks good. I was shooting it earlier. It shoots really nice. It's very smooth in the hand. No hand shock at all. It is a little bit different technique from what I'm used to. I'm trying with this bow to master instinctive shooting. So basically, instinctive shooting, you're staring right at your target and you're not really aiming with your arrow, or you just kind of pull back and release right away. And it's like throwing a ball rather than target and line up your target with whatever sighting you use. And yeah, this is her. It's a very powerful bow and it shoots quiet. I was gonna put string silencers on it, but it doesn't even need it. I think it's because the Sias are so light that the arrows just fly out of it. So I'm really loving this bow, and definitely gonna take it hunting when I get the chance. Today we're just shooting target, and yeah, I love it. So I'll start shooting it again and get that on film for you guys. I'm back in the shop. I had to redeem myself with wrapping this handle because after shooting it a bit, it was coming loose on the one end, and that's just because I started wrapping it tight on this side, but by the time I got here, I guess my hand was cramping and I wasn't really pulling hard on it because you need a nice tight wrap. But I did it last night, and I put a layer of spar urethane on it, and it's already hardened up. I've got 2 layers of it on right now, and I'm gonna do a third. Now normally you would do this before you'd go shooting for the first time, but I was eager to get out there and had the perfect day. The weather's been horrible lately, so I put 1 coat on, a nice thick coat, and then last night I did another, so I'm gonna do 1 more. So I'm using a sponge brush just for the handle and the Sia bindings, just so that way you get a nice thick coat on and pat it all down. Actually, before I do that, I need to glove up. I want to get a nice thick coat on there, just to seal it down and make sure it binds to the materials. So now you just want to leave this for, I think it was 2 hours in between coats, and you want to let it set overnight, so I'm guessing 8 to 12 hours. And then it's sealed, and then I'm going to head right back outside again.
Okay. Wait.